Did Jordan Brand just kill the Air Jordan 11? A couple days ago, Jordan Brand announced that for the 30th anniversary of the Air Jordan 11, they're releasing 9 different colorways. 9 colorways. We used to only get 11s like once a year. And this is one of those colorways, the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air. But as nice as this sneaker is, does it signal the downfall of the Air Jordan 11? All right, I know there's a bunch of you guys already typing in your keyboards, you're just hypebeasts, you don't know what you're talking about, Jordans are not dead, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm talking about. A lot of people love to leave comments without even watching the video. So if you see those comments, I know those people didn't watch. No, I don't think the Air Jordan 11s are dead. I don't think Jordans or sneakers are dead. It's a hobby that people are into and the popularity comes in waves. And it shouldn't matter how popular a sneaker or sneakers are for you to want to wear it. You should wear what you like and wear it because you like it, not because it's like the most hyped up thing right now. And yes, it's just a fact. Jordans are not as hyped as they used to be. This year, we've gotten some of the best Jordans of all time, and a lot of them are going for like retail or below. It's crazy. But that doesn't mean that I think sneakers are dead. I think the resale market itself is in a little bit of a dip. The Air Jordan 11 is one of those sneakers that has always been the special release for the year. It's the pair that we would only get generally once a year around the holidays. And whether you want to admit it or not, it's fine either way. You wear sneakers because of how they make you feel. And while yes, the Air Jordan 11, in my opinion, is one of the best sneakers of all time, it's one of Michael Jordan's favorite retros, if not his favorite retro, and in a lot of ways, it's Tinker Hatfield's masterpiece. And I haven't even covered the storied history of this shoe. The Air Jordan 11, first released back in 1995, along with Michael Jordan's return to the NBA. He's won championships in this shoe. The 11s were worn in Space Jam, some of the most iconic Air Jordan colorways of all time, like the Bread, the Space Jams, the Concords, the DMP 11s, all take place on the Air Jordan 11 silhouette. But when a brand sets a precedent for a shoe over decades, calling it one of their most special releases, only releasing it certain times of the year and in certain colorways, it makes that shoe special, even more than it already is. And you can't deny the fact that when you got that new pair of cool gray 11s or Space Jam 11s back in 2010 or 2009, when you first threw those on feet, you're like, wow, I look great, I look fly, and not many people have these. Yes, when you first step into those shoes, you're like, wow, Michael stepped into the same shoe. Or at least people who are my age think that. I think anyone younger than me probably doesn't think that. But people care about the history. I'm not saying that no one cares about the history, but what Jordan Brand is doing over the last couple years is not just with this big 9 Air Jordan 11 release, is water down one of their most classic silhouettes. They're taking an iconic masterpiece shoe and making it just another Jordan retro. And that's totally fine. But as someone who loves the Air Jordan 11, it's sad to see that happen to one of my favorite sneakers of all time. Yes, I still think it's an incredible shoe. I think it's really well designed. I think it's beautiful. I think it's iconic. I think there's tons of history behind it. It doesn't make me like the shoe less, but it does make the shoe feel less special. And a lot of sneaker collecting is feeling. It's all about feelings, how you feel when you're wearing the shoes. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. And to be fair, a lot of these releases are regional and very limited, like the Tokyos and the Chinas and the 285s and probably the H-Towns and maybe the Mojaves, but it's still 9 pairs of Air Jordan 11s, none of which are OG releases. Even the Gamma 11s dropping for the holidays, not an OG release. That shoe is very fire though, and whether it sits or sells doesn't matter, I'm grabbing that shoe regardless. But each one of these releases are slowly pulling at the thread, and we've had a lot of releases kind of like this throughout the last like 3 or 4 years that were really honestly whack Air Jordan 11s that shouldn't have released, and there's tons of Air Jordan 11 lows which are also kind of like eh. I mean, you can argue that the low is not really the same as the high in the same way that people argue that the 1 lows were not the same as the high. You can say whatever you want, and it really does come down to your own opinion, but you can't deny the fact that the 11 doesn't feel like the 11 anymore. Still priced like it though. The Air Jordan 11 Rare Airs come in for $235, $5 more than last year's Air Jordan 11 Legend Blues, which is a lot. They're dropping on October 20th, 2025, which is about 2 weeks from the time that I recorded this video. And even though the shoe hasn't even come out yet, the resale prices are like $10 over retail. That being said, if you want to support the channel and grab one of these pairs through the affiliate links in the YouTube shopping tab, go ahead. You're gonna get them for a good price. In fact, after they release, they're probably gonna go for under retail. That's my guess. While resale price shouldn't affect the way that you feel about a certain pair of sneakers, it does show the way that the general population feels about a pair of sneakers. And if for the last like 3 or 4 years, Jordan Brand hadn't dropped these like random Air Jordan 11 high or mid releases that we've been getting and only dropped the holiday releases, even if this was the pair that was releasing, it would still fly off shelves. But it won't. And my guess is there will probably be pairs of these at the Nike outlet. Don't know for sure, but that's my guess. All right, enough of me complaining about Jordan Brand ruining the specialness of one of my favorite silhouettes. It doesn't matter, it's still a good shoe, and this colorway is not bad. Before we dive any deeper into the shoe itself though, let's first take a look at the box, which is more special than a standard Jordan 11 box, but it's still not as special as those drawer boxes. I'm getting back into it. I really just need to talk about the box. So here it is, the Air Jordan 11 Rare Air box. The top of the box comes in that Rare Air blue, which if you're not familiar with this sort of Rare Air line of sneakers, they've dropped 3s, 4s, 1s so far, and now these are the 11s. And the idea or the inspiration behind the Rare Air line is samples and production mistakes. So each one of these pairs features something that is not standard to that silhouette. So for example, the 3s, the Nike Air logo is backwards. The 1s, there's wings logos on either side. And when it comes to the Air Jordan 11s, actually comment down below what you think that detail is on the Air Jordan 11s. I'd love to know what you guys think. No cheating. Getting back to the box, so you've got a white Jumpman in the center. The bottom of the box comes in red, again, one of those rare air colors. You've got the white sort of pull hole there, or I guess ventilation hole, 23 on the side with a carbon fiber printed paper. And then on the front, you've got the size tag. This is a size 9. The name of the shoe is Air Jordan 11 Retro RA, or Rare Air, and the official colorway is Deep Royal Blue Fire Red Sail. And unfortunately, now that I'm thinking about it, there's no shoe trees. So for a $235 shoe, to not get shoe trees, it's not crazy, but again, the old 11s had shoe trees, and they were plastic, and they were sparkly, and they were nice. Oh, really quick, before I forget, the third and final badge for the core giveaway is linked in the top of the description below. If you want a chance at getting that StockX gift card, make sure to grab the core badges from 3 different videos on my channel over the last couple weeks. And once you get all 3 and then you get the redemption badge, you'll be entered. So good luck. Starting off on the toe of the sneaker, the iconic element of the Air Jordan 11 is, of course, the patent leather. And in the case of this shoe, it comes in deep royal blue. It's actually a beautiful shade of blue. It doesn't tie into UNC or Michael Jordan's jerseys, maybe the Wizards a little bit, but that's about it. It's not a color you usually see on Air Jordan 11s, but it's nice. I really like it a lot. There is some like sticky crap on the toe of my one pair, which is annoying. I bought this from Goat for more money than I should have because I bought it like a couple weeks ago and they were expensive, but I think I can get that off actually. Moving up from the toe, Jordan Brand has replaced the ballistic nylon usually found on the upper of Air Jordan 11s with this sail colored tumbled leather. It's not something we're not used to at this point. Jordan Brand has done that a lot recently, and I do think it gives the shoe, I guess, a more premium look. I prefer the ballistic nylon personally, but to each their own. The one set of laces that you get with this pair are these very cream or sail colored rope laces, which kind of look aged and match the outsole of the sneaker, which we'll talk about in a second. Now getting to that Rare Air detail, it's time to figure out if you actually guessed correctly in the comment section down below. Don't change your answer if you got it wrong. On the eye stay area of the shoe, these nylon lace loops feature the Jordan text spelling out Jordan, and while we have seen this detail on a few recent release Jordans like the Jubilees, this was actually a detail that was first only on samples, and for years we never got a pair of Jordan 11s that had this. So obviously that's a detail that was inspired by samples on this colorway if you didn't get that part, but there you go. Now the letters seem like they're sort of a 3D TPU that's heat fused or heat pressed onto the nylon. Gets the job done. Actually, is it even nylon? It might be a different material because no, it's nylon. Either way, don't mind it. I don't think it really adds or takes away from the look of this shoe. It's totally fine in my opinion. Getting to the center of the tongue, you've got that patch that says Jumpman Jordan embroidered into it in gray with the red Jumpman in the center embroidered in red, obviously. Now what's interesting is because I had to embroider it this way and because the patch is white, you can see, I guess, the backing for the embroidery underneath. So it kind of gives this pinkish glow around the Jumpman, which is fine. While I don't love it, it does seem like a detail that would be on a prototype or sample pair, so it kind of ties in well with the silhouette's concept or inspiration. Moving inside the shoe, you've got some mismatched colors with this gray sock liner on the back of the tongue and then a black sock liner on the rest of the inside of the sneaker. And then the insole of the shoe, is it the same on both? It is the same on both. The insole comes in blue and it's backed with this really nice soft foam. And of course you've got Rare Air printed on the heel, which is actually printed on every pair of the Rare Airs in some way, shape, or form. At least I think it is. I think it's on every insole. I know it's on the back of some of the shoes. I don't know if it's on every shoe though. As far as fit goes, there should be no surprises for you. The Air Jordan 11s do fit like every other pair of Air Jordan 11s. And for me, as true to size Seth, that is true to size. I think the shoe fits perfect. I have no issues with this shoe whatsoever. But of course, if you wear Air Jordan 11s a lot, you know what your size is, and I would say just grab what you usually grab in Air Jordan 11s. If you're one of those people who have never worn a pair of 11s before, good news is they should be sitting, and most 11s recently have been sitting, even the Legend Blues. You could still honestly find them in like some sneaker stores, like retail stores. If you find a pair, try them on first before you buy them to make sure that you're buying the right size for you, especially spending $235, but if you have to buy them online, true to size, and you should be okay. They are a relatively stiff shoe though until they break in, so keep that in mind. They might feel a bit narrow around your forefoot if you have wider feet, maybe go up half a size if you have wider feet, but generally the consensus seems to be true to size. Then moving down on the shoe, you get to this off-white or sail colored midsole. It's definitely whiter than the cream used on the laces and the outsole, but it's still not like a bright white. Of course, you've got your encapsulated air unit that make the Air Jordan 11 underfoot honestly one of the more comfortable retro Jordans. You'd be surprised if you've never worn a pair of these. They are genuinely like relatively soft underfoot, especially with that insole. That insole helps a lot too. Then moving to the bottom of the shoe, we get to this sort of pre-aged, very yellow looking rubber outsole, which actually I kind of like because it does look like an oxidized outsole. And I kind of like this look. It's different. We don't see it a lot. It's better than the milky outsoles in my opinion. It still seems like an icy outsole except sort of a dirty ice. You know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I like it a lot. On the forefoot, you've got the red forefoot pod, heel, blue traction pod, and then of course the red carbon fiber peeking through on the medial side and also underneath the rubber rubber itself. All around, this is a pretty decent Air Jordan 11 release. Now, I've got to say, there are some QC issues on my pair. There's some like excess rubber on the forefoot of the right shoe. There's that sticky crap that I was talking about earlier. Maybe not so much on the left shoe, but definitely on the right shoe, I had 2 issues, which is more than usual. Obviously, that varies from pair to pair, so don't expect your pair to be garbage, but I will say that my pair did have more issues than I would like. Oh, of course, before I forget, you've got the heel of the shoe. I completely forgot to mention that. On the lateral side, you've got this Jumpman embroidered in red with the ball facing the front of the shoe. And if you look at both of these shoes together, side by side, or both sides of the pair, you'll notice that the ball is facing forward on both sides of the pair, which means one of the Jumpman is backwards. Now, that's been done before. I believe when the 11s first released back in '95, different factories would turn the Jumpman different ways, so you had different releases looking different from each other. The other detail that rounds off the shoe is this Heat Press 23 in this gray color. It sort of ties in again with that Rare Air color blocking. The Rare Air shoes usually come in black with some cream hits, some blue hits, and some red hits. In this case, it comes primarily in cream and blue with red and black hits. The Air Jordan 3s were more black, the 4s were black, the 1s were more cream. It really depends on the colorway. And honestly, as far as a collection goes, I think it's pretty well done. I like that it's different. I like that they tried something that actually looks good as a collection. I don't think there's any particular shoe that's super weak except for maybe the 1s. The 3s, the 4s, and even the 11s are all actually really nice pairs. So I do think that if you can grab any of them for under retail, which I think they're all going for under retail, they'll all be linked on the screen somewhere. Not bad pickups. Genuinely not bad pickups. But hey, with all that being said, let me know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 11s, specifically on this Rare Air release. Do you like it? Are you grabbing it? And also, how do you feel about Air Jordan 11s in general, now that Jordan Brand is dropping a ton of them? Again, a lot of them regional, a lot of them limited, at least the ones that we're getting in this recent release, but for the last couple years, we've been getting weird ones. They've been diluting the market for a while now, and it seems like it's finally hitting ahead. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.